Hello everyone, it's Maria here from Pepperly Rose Paper Crafting. I'm from Sydney, Australia. Welcome and thank you so much for stopping by. Today I'm going to do a couple of really quick Christmas cards using the Dashi Deer stamp set. I'm going to use the Christmas Wishes and I'm going to use the detailed deer dies, and I'm going to use this die over here. I'm going to use two combinations of colours. So one combination is going to be Pineapple Punch, Mango Melody and Poppy Parade, and the next one is going to be Night of Navy, Shaded Spruce and Balmy Blue. Now these two cards I'm making today with you are for my godchildren, and I need something quick and easy, so that's why we're doing that. And for the Dashing Deer, I'm just, as I said before, I think I said it before, if not I'll say it again, I'm going to use the Christmas Wishes and Mask Off the Happiest. I think I love that sentiment, I love that font as well. So we'll get started on this straight away. So I'm going to use two pieces of thick Whisper White cardstock. It's half an A4 and cut in half and then scored in half again, and it makes two A6 card bases. So I'll just quickly fold and burnish those score lines. And that's the next one. Yeah, I like these cards to be relatively simple. Both my godchildren are now adults, so my godson's 18 and my goddaughter is 20. So I don't want anything to be overly kid-like, but I want it to be kind of elegant and have a kind of a sense of fun with it. I'm also going to be using some white glitter cardstock. I'm not sure if you can see that glitter and shine, but that's what I'll be using for the reindeer. Now I've got two pieces of watercolour paper, and these are cut at an A6 size, so they're just going to go completely over the front of the card base, so it's going to cover it right up. So I'm going to bring out my craft sheet because we're going to do some watercolouring, and we're using the aqua pens, aqua brushes that you can find through Stampin Up as well as through other outlets as well of crafting stores. So I'll start off with the blue one. And what I'm going to do is just very basically just stamp on some blue, balmy blue there on my craft sheet directly. Some Night of Navy, just like that. Really simple, messy, nice, fun. And I'm also going to use Shaded Spruce. So I'll just stamp that there, and I'll keep the colours separate. Okay, so I'll pick up my lightest colour and I'll just get some water going inside my brush. So I'm using the Stampin' Up packs of aqua painters have two, you have a large brush and then a medium brush. So I'll just pick up the water there that I've got and I'll just go on the light blue and I'll just scribble it along, and I'll just drop some water as well. Doesn't have to be very precise, but it's just enough to get the colour going. And I'll just go on, concentrate more onto the right hand side of the card and just kind of in the middle, so it looks like that. So it's just really simple. Then I'm going to go for my Shaded Spruce, and I'll just kind of just splotch it here and there. And I'll just add some more water to just kind of make it move a little bit more. And I'll just grab a tissue, so just bear with me for 1 second. And I'll add a little bit more of my balmy blue. I've got my daughter at home, so if you're hearing things in the background, it's just her walking around a little bit. Alright, now I've got some Night of Navy, and I'll just kind of just splotch it around in there too. And then you just work with the colours the way you would like them to be. So I'll just go with the more blue again and kind of just mix the colours up a bit. just get some more shaded spruce. And just drop some colour, some water onto it, and kind of let it meld like that. Just fun. Okay, so I'll just wipe my nib, my brush tip. Just get a bit more blue, because I don't want to lose that blue. And just a little bit more of the Night of Navy. And just meld that together. Spread that around a bit. Doesn't have to be precise, but that's roughly what I'm looking at. A little bit more blue maybe. Sorry you're hearing this, it sounds like a car alarm, but I think it's the crane that's going off in the background. So many apologies. Just get a bit more of the light blue. Just spread the colour around a bit. And just do it the way you would like it. It's just really messy, fun. Doesn't take long at all. Just drop some more water. And I like that the watercolour cardstock is really forgiving, so you can put quite a bit of water in there and make a nice pattern. So I'm just now getting rid of the colour. Alright, so what I'm going to do off camera is I'm going to clean this brush a little bit more, and then I'm just going to dry this with a heat tool, and I will be back. I've just finished now heating this up, and it turned out really lovely, but I want to add some water, kind of like sprays on it. So what I'm going to do is just do this with the water brush and just splash some water on there and let that react with the water, and then I'll just grab a towel and I'll just bring up that. So it gives it like a nice kind of a nice feel to it. I quite like it. And that's it. So I'm just going to clean up now my craft sheet, which is really simple. Just bring over my chamois, or you can use a towel, either or, doesn't matter. Okay, now I'm going to move on to my next one, so I'll just leave that there to dry a little bit more. Just give that a good dry, make sure we don't get any stains. So it stains, but it doesn't come off on your project, so that's cool. Alright, now bring in my next piece of watercolour paper. And I'm going to put Pineapple Punch on here, quite a bit of it. Some Mango Melody. And some Poppy Parade. Okay, just up there so you can see that. So you've got Poppy Parade, Pineapple Punch and Mango Melody there. Okay, you bring up your water brush, your aqua painter, really simple. Okay, just get some water going in there, and I'll just do some splotches there. Just paint it on, just willy-nilly. No rhyme or reason to it other than it just looks cool. Alright, then I'll just wipe it off on my towel, and I'll just get some Mango Melody, and I'll just swish it around in there. A little bit more on the edges there. Okay, splotch, splotch, lots of water. Let that water move around a little bit. Oops. Don't want that much water there, so I'll just mop it up. Spread around with your brush. There's no, wrong or right. You do whatever you think is right for you. And I'm just going to splotch now the Poppy Parade. And just let that kind of swish around a little bit. Just move it around. I quite like the way this has turned out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat this up with my heat tool, and then I shall be back. Okay, so I've just finished now heating this with my heat tool. So I'm just going to get now some water with my brush and just tap it on there. Make sure there's plenty of water on the brush and just tap it with your finger like that. Let that react a little bit. Then grab a towel and just mop up the water. And it gives you a nice kind of splattered look. Kind of looks magical in a way too. So I'll let that dry. So I'll pick up the excess with my towel. I'll use my chamois and clean this up. Stained it again, but that's okay. Okay. So now we are done with the watercolouring and everything. So it's nice and easy, really simple, messy but fun. Okay, so here they are, right here. Okay, and just kind of just mould the paper a little bit so it sits a little bit more flat. Okay, now with this, I'm going to grab the stamp set Dashing Deer. I'm going to get that sentiment here. And where is it? Right over here. And I'm going to grab my Stamparatus. And we're going to stamp that sentiment. Just get rid of my foam. I'm going to grab as well my magnets to keep it in place. And I'll use my other magnet as well just to ensure that it stays in place. Try not to use the two at the same time because the magnets are quite strong, but keep them as far away as possible because they will somehow find each other. Alright, so I'm just going to position that. I'm trying to use my grid as a guide to make sure that the sentiment is quite straight. And there, I think that should do it. Okay, I'm just going to mask off the happiest part, so I'll just grab a little bit of painter's tape. Just make it more straight. Just mask that. Okay, I'm going to ink for this one in Poppy Parade. And I'll stamp that. I'll just say Christmas wishes. And then I'll stamp it again. Just use a tissue so I don't get ink all over my fingers. Because it's watercolour paper, the colours absorb a lot more, so you may have to do it a couple of times. And look what I did. I forgot to take off the mask. So, to fix that, I'll grab my watercolour and just kind of blend it in. Luckily it's on watercolour paper, makes it a lot more forgiving. And just blend in the colour a bit more. And try not to get that onto the sentiment there. Well, that was annoying, wasn't it? Stuffed that right up. Completely stuffed it up. Oh dear. Just get that water going. Just be a bit more strategic with it now. Around a bit. Okay. I think I will leave it at that. I'll let that dry off. Alright, now I'll move to the next one and get rid of this one altogether. Out. Wipe that off. For this one, I'm going to move it a little bit more towards here. Now the Christmas wishes kind of went there, but I don't mind. I'll just leave it as it is. Alright, take this off. Oops. So you've got to be careful with that. They did find each other. And then they could snap, so not good. Alright. Put this away. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring our piece of glitter white cardstock. I'm going to bring out the deer die, this one here. And I'm going to put it through the Big Shot a couple of times. So they're both cut now. Put this away. And now I'm going to bring this over, and it looks absolutely beautiful. I love the way that turned out. And then here's this one here too. Just beautiful. Alright, so I'm going to stick these two panels now onto the card bases with some liquid glue. And I'll put the liquid glue right on the card base. grab my guillotine because I stuffed that up, and I'm going to clean these edges up and then I'll be back. Just finished using my big giant guillotine, my 12 by 12 base tonic guillotine. Love it. So I've just cleaned up the edges and they're nice and smooth and just absolutely beautiful. So really happy with that. All right, so I'll grab now one of the reindeer and I'll stick it on this blue one first. So I'm going to put mine down here like that. And I'll just grab some glue. Done this one. I've just plugged in my camera into the power so you won't run out on me now. We're in the middle of filming. I'm going to pop this on here as well. Thought I'd place that there. Looks good there like that. But I want to spread that colour around a little bit, so I'm just going to get some pineapple punch, sorry. Some water now on here. And I'll just mop it up so it has a bit more splash. So now we're kind of done now. Not happy with that Christmas wishes sentiment not being good. So I have some leftover piece of some watercolour paper. I'm going to stamp the sentiment on here. I'm going to grab my guillotine, I'm going to trim this down and I'm going to stick that on. I'm not going to torture you through watching that, so I will be back with this already cut out. I'll see you in a few minutes. So I've just finished now using my guillotine to cut that up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flag the ends of it. So just do one in the middle, just a little bit more trim there, make it more even on either side, and then cut in the middle, and then from the diagonal up like that and like that, and you end up with a flagged end like that. And then I'll do the same on this side, trim that up a little bit more, and I'll flag that too from either side. Okay, so now we have a nice new sentiment down there. Make it look pretty. I will stick that down with some glue. And cover that mess right up. Okay, so that looks good now. I like that. Now I'm going to grab my reindeer, and I'll put it up like that. See, my goddaughter loves yellow, so I thought it would be nice to use yellow, orange and red as part of the card, so that's why I did that. Just stick the glue all over this reindeer. Okay, I use plenty of glue when it's watercolour paper. And so now I'm just going to pop it on like that. I'm just mopping up the excess glue. And now we are done. I'll just let you see the glitter. Not sure if you can see that. See that? It looks absolutely beautiful in real life. So that's that one there, and then that's this one here. I hope you liked these two cards. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to leave a comment below this video. I'll be more than happy to get back to you, usually within 24 hours if you have any questions regarding this. Sorry about the stuff-ups, but I hope I've given you some clue as to how to fix it. I highly recommend also a good heavy-duty kind of guillotine, because I really cleaned up the edges. If you can see that, you can hardly tell that there was any bits that were sticking out, so I did use it off camera and I loved it. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye.